Sports Barn on Friday night, June the 12th. And we're going to talk Minnesota Twins and sum up the Central Division. There you have our new intro music. Would you believe me if I told you we had that made specifically just for the Sports Barn? We'll see if YouTube allows us to play that, or if they say, you ripped that off. We'll see. Do you like it? I like it. I like it. So hey, making small improvements here in the Sports Barn. This evening I think we're going to have a lower, slower show. We frantically rushed through the last two episodes just because I hate bad teams and they're boring to talk about. And I'm getting bored with these 30-team previews. I guess we're down to crunch time from what I've seen with the MLB negotiations. Apparently MLB made another counter offer today. It sure seems to me that the owners are the only ones negotiating. And, you know, as I said, I'm putting it on the players. I think the owners, you know, as much as I've tagged these guys as douchebags, you know, they do appear to be somewhat negotiating. And I think the players' position is somewhat stupid. This idea that we signed a deal in March and there's language in it that says, hey, if we play in front of no fans, we'd like to talk again about money. And the players are just pretending that language isn't there. They're saying, what? No, what? We made the deal. We made the deal. They're saying, wait a minute. I thought it was understood we were going to talk about money if there were no fans. And the players are like, what? No, that was never talked about. Yeah, bullshit it wasn't. I know it was. So, you know, come on players, come to the table. Don't be douchebags. Make a deal. And so what I've heard is that if a deal's not done by Monday or Tuesday, we get the crummy, not legitimate 50-game season. That's what we get. If we get a deal by Monday or Tuesday, you're looking at a season somewhere between 70 and 80 games probably, which I think I'm going to call that a season. We're going to say that counts. So we're hoping that's what we get. One of the horrible things about, I don't know where you live, if it's normal where you live, you know, and when I say normal, like it was last year, or if it's, you know, you gotta wear a mask to the grocery store like I do. If they serve you in a restaurant, you can go inside and eat. I can't do that. One of the terrible things about this goddamn lockdown is it forces you to find things to do with your time because, you know, they've robbed you of things you like to do, like watch sports. I just watched a horrible movie from the late 80s with Sylvester Stallone in it called Over the Top. I think I saw this a long time ago, and, you know, I'm just in just kind of zombieification right now where, oh, there's a movie I'm sort of recognize. I guess I'll watch it, and I'm watching it, and, you know, I'm halfway through it before I realize how bad it is. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of trapped into this terrible thing. I guess I'll just watch the rest of it just to see if it gets any better. Holy cow, I mean, this might be the worst thing Tom Wolfe's done to me, you know, caused me to watch this movie. It's, you know, if you've never seen it, it's Sylvester Stallone is an owner-operator truck driver who also competes in competitive arm wrestling. Apparently, according to this movie, arm wrestling is a big thing in the trucking industry. I've been in the trucking industry for 30 years, and I've never known that. So I learned something there. Arm wrestling is a big thing with drivers. I didn't know that. So he is trying to get his son back. He walked out on his family many years ago. His son doesn't know him. His wife is dying. She wants to hook the son up with the ex-husband. So apparently the wife doesn't hold it against him that he walked out for God knows what reason. You know, God knows what reason A, he walked out, B, why she doesn't hold it against him, but she doesn't. She wants to hook him up with the son. The son, of course, is like, I don't know you, I hate you. And then, within 30 minutes is like, I love you. So it's kind of like, oh, that's a little weird. They are going to this giant arm wrestling competition in Vegas where all the competitors are like cartoonish bad guys from wrestling. I own you! These giant guys that outweigh Sylvester Stallone by, 100, 150 pounds. But don't worry, he beats them all. And then the weirdest or the stupidest thing is at the end. It's like, oh my God, that didn't make any sense. It's a double. They do it pretty well. It's at the Hilton, big competition, huge money on the line. You get a new truck. Like I said, I don't know, if I'm an arm wrestler and I'm not in the trucking industry, well, what the hell good is that? I get a truck, but I don't want a truck. A truck. What am I going to do with a goddamn truck? But they gloss over that because they're all in the trucking industry. So at the end, then he's going up against this giant bald guy that weighs probably 350, and he, as they say repeatedly in the movie, Bull Hurley hasn't been beaten in 5 years, and it's a double elimination contest. So they're coming through their respective brackets. Bull Hurley hasn't been beaten in 5 years, and now Sylvester Stallone faces him at the final table, and then of course Sylvester Stallone already has been beaten once. Your typical Rocky III moment where he has lost and now he has to come to terms with his demons and find the eye of the tiger so he can rally to win the day, get the new truck, win his son's love. And so he goes up against Bull Hurley and the cartoonish villain Bull Hurley. And he beats him, and they all go, and then he holds his hand up and he walks away the champion. I'm like, wait a minute. This guy hasn't lost in 5 years. I mean, it's a double elimination. He should get to go again. When did he get beat? He hasn't been beat. They said he hasn't been beaten in 5 years. So what are you talking about? They just skip right over that. It's like, what? So among that, it's like, that's 90 minutes I'll never get back. Screw you, Tom Wolfe, for making me do that. So what else is new? I told you about the negotiations. I'm sure there's some other bad movie I can go in and watch tonight. We have to talk about the Minnesota Twins. I guess we do. My God. Alright, I actually wrote the numbers down. I took the time to do it. I figured if I'm going to take the time to tell you about Over the Top, I might as well write these damn numbers down. The Twins, they had a come out of nowhere 101 win season last year before being swept in 3 games by the Yankees in the division series. Other than that, I mean, some weird numbers up there. That one there is a really strange number in 2016. They went from 83 wins to 59 wins back to 85 wins. That's a very odd number there where, they just forget. I guess they just had a shitload of injuries maybe. I don't know. We're learning things as we get on here doing these videos in all months of the year. We got the door wide open here to get some air in the sports barn, and apparently we have a gnat issue here on the board, which I guess is okay as long as they're not in my face, and you can still read what's on the board, so I guess it's not really an issue. I just noticed that. We'll just blow cigar smoke at them, maybe I'll keep them away. So what do we think about the Twins, rioting aside? Looks like Vegas is calling for a pullback, 92.5 wins. There's a lot to be said about this Twins team. I mean, there's a lot there, especially hitting-wise, to like. They got some good young players. Probably the best player is the center fielder, Buxton. He'd only played half a year last year, And, you know, I like these guys that catch the ball, particularly in center field. I mean, they save you runs. They win you games. Probably one of the best players the Phillies had on those late 70s teams that you never heard of. It wasn't Greg Wyszynski, it wasn't Mike Schmidt, and it wasn't Steve Carlton. It was Gary Maddox. He won them games because he covered everything, and I mean everything, because Greg Wyszynski was in left field. So, you know, Maddox saved them a ton of runs and won them games. So Buxton, I like him. Like I said, 92.5. What we're going to do here, don't fall. What we're going to do, this is a hunch more than anything. Vegas is already calling for a pullback here on the Twins. And they were really good last year. I checked. They were good all year long. They wasn't like they got off to some screaming hot start and then faded at the end. They played well in the beginning, well in the middle, and well at the end. But I just think that in this shortened season, you know, a team that really depends on their hitting. You know, this is a team that hit just a ton of home runs last year. I think that team's going to be at a bit of a disadvantage. You know, it's often takes you a little while to get the bats going. Well, you're not going to have a little while in this shortened season. You need to hit now. And if your whole game is walk, strikeout, and home run, you might be behind the 8 ball a little bit. You better figure out how to score other than that. I think teams with just that win with pitching and defense, they might have an advantage, especially defense. I mean, what exactly do I need to do to warm up to play defense? You know, I can see the pitchers perhaps being a little behind, but they're just going to have an expanded roster. You know, a guy that normally throws 6 innings, he'll throw 4, and then they'll just roll out some endless procession of middle relievers throwing 93, 94 miles an hour. You know, the pitchers are going to have an advantage. So I think that might put teams like the Twins a little bit at a disadvantage. So that's kind of how we're playing. You know, my answer could be different if this was a full season for the Twins, but I think we're going to fade those guys. Going to fade them. So where does that put us? So here, this is the whole thing. So, you know, I actually had to look this up myself. It was like, what was I saying about all these teams? So here's the summary. Here's the summary of the Central. This is where you want to go and you want to figure out, what the hell did he say about the Central? I'm taking the Cardinals on top. I think that's a winning team. They're going to find a way to win. They got good pitching. The Indians, probably right behind them. Same reason, good pitching. Then we're going to put the Twins in there. We think the Twins are just too talented to fall too far out of it. Then you got Milwaukee. That's a team I think, you know, I like them. I don't think Vegas likes them that much. I think that's a team that just finds a way to win. The Cubs are, I think the Cubs are in trouble. That's a team that's fading. That's you know, sometimes it gets early late. I think that might be a Yogi Berra-ism. It's getting late early. And it's getting late early for the Cubs because they were supposed to have all that young talent when they won the World Series in 2016. And they were printing World Series tickets for years to come. Well, it isn't that way anymore. You know, and then some of that young talent really hasn't developed. So their pitching's old. You know, I'm just not seeing it there with the Cubs. The White Sox, I'm going to say they're a year away. The Reds are always a year away. Sorry, subscriber X. And then the rest here is just dreck. So there. That's your Central Division. There you have it. Well, I'd like to talk some more, but I don't think I have anything else to talk about. You know, these videos are like the high point of my day. My brother told me today, he said, we got 7 weeks, and he's talking, you know, optimistically. We only have 7 weeks till sports. Yeah, I guess the NBA is going to start on June 30th. I'm sorry, July 30th. It's like 7 weeks. 7 weeks. Oh my God. I mean, there's no reason for this. There really isn't for this. Well, I don't have anything else for you, so class dismissed. Have a good weekend. I guess I'll come out with the East. I mean, let's see. What should we do next? Should we do the American League East and hold the Phillies and the Mets for last? Yeah, we'll do that. So I guess that means, oh God, I think that means Baltimore's next. Oh, Jesus. Well, that'll be another episode. Maybe I'll dance or something for that episode, just to do something special. But I did think of one thing. We are coming up on our 100th video, and I thought I should do something for that. I have an idea of what to do for the 100th video. So we have a topic to discuss for the 100th video. I hope it'll be worth your time. Thanks for being here. 7 weeks, right? I mean, as I've said repeatedly, I don't do the NBA. Unless there's a pandemic, then, I think suddenly I'll attempt to become an NBA and NHL expert. I don't know. The NBA, I could do it. I have done it. I have bet the NBA in the past. I just don't like the tanking. I don't like their regular season game. I think they play at such a reduced effort that it's not a true game. But now, they should be right there at the playoff cusp, so we should get real competition. I guess we'll have to go ahead and, try to bet it, try to give you opinions on it. That's what you're interested in anyway. That's more so than the NHL probably. So, we're looking forward to it. We're really looking forward to football, which is our best sport anyway. So, this is where we're at. Thanks for being here. Orioles are next as we're in the home stretch here with baseball, and 7 weeks to go till sports resume. Thank goodness for that. Thanks. See you again.